Hello friends, today we will be talking about Scrum. Scrum like software development. I prepare for you 6 parts about history of Scrum, advantages of the Scrum, roles, events, artifact and terminology. So, let's go. What is Scrum? Scrum is iterative and incremental agile software development methodology for managing product development. It defines a flexible, holistic product development strategy where development teams work as a unit to reach a common goal, challenging this assumption of a traditional sequential approach to product development and enable teams to self-organize and encouraging physical co-location or close online collaboration of all team members, as well as daily face-to-face communication among all team members and disciplines in the project. A key principle of Scrum is its recognition that during a project the customers can change their minds about their want and need, often called requirements churn, and that unpredicted challenges cannot be easily addressed in a traditional predictive or planned manner. As such, Scrum adopts an empirical approach, accepting that the problem cannot be fully understood or defined, focusing instead on maximizing the team's ability to deliver quickly and respond to empirical requirements. Scrum was the first defined as a flexible, holistic product development strategy where development teams work as a unit to reach a common goal, as opposed to a traditional sequential approach in 1986 by Hirotaka Takeshi and Ikujiro Nonaka in the new product development game. Takeshi and Nonaka later argued in the knowledge creating company that it's a form of organizational knowledge creation, especially good at bringing about innovation continuously, incrementally and spirally. In the early 1990s, Ken Schwaber used that would become Scrum at his company, Advanced Development Methods, and Jeff Sutherland with John Scamnio-Tales and Jeff McKenna developed a similar approach at either corporation, and were the first to refer to it using the single word Scrum. In 1995, Sutherland and Schwaber jointly presented a paper describing the Scrum methodology at the Business Object Design and Implementation Workshop, held as a part of Object-Oriented Programming, Systems, Languages, and Applications 95 in Austin, Texas, its first public presentation. In 2001, Schwaber worked with Mike Biddle to describe the method in the book Agile Software Development with Scrum. Its approach to planning and managing projects is to bring decision-making authority to the level of operation practice and certainty. Later, Schwaber with others founded the Scrum Alliance and created the certificated Scrum Master programs and its derivatives. Schwaber left the Scrum Alliance in the fall of 2009 and founded Scrum.org. No further improved the quality and effectiveness of Scrum. On this slide we see a scheme of Scrum work. Now I will tell you how it works, and then I will tell you more about each element of the scheme. So, let's start from the beginning. The customer gives us task to design a project, product backlog. Also, the client has delegated a representative authorized to resolve technical issues. Product owners. Product owner, Scrum Master and team during the sprint planning meeting create sprint backlog by selecting the task from product backlog. Each day of sprint begins with daily Scrum meeting where product owner, Scrum Master and team briefly discuss, up to 15 minutes, what has been done, what has to be done today. During the meeting, Scrum Master amending release down chat. After the sprint, it's time to sprint review. We present our work during the meeting. Also, after completing the sprint, we go to the sprint retrospective. Two main questions are asked in the sprint retrospective. What did go well during the sprint? What could be improved in the next sprint? Now we can compare Scrum model and Waterfall model. Like you see, we have that same requirements, analysis, design, and coding, and in the end testing. So, if you find some errors in the stage of testing, value of errors will be more expensive than in Scrum method. I guess all know this funny picture. But before developers constantly meet with such problems. But in Scrum method, the part of the team is product owner, so chance of occurrence of this situation is minimized. Part 2. Advantages of the Scrum. Product owner always controls the direction of product development and its correctness. Low price of errors. Self-organizing teams. Product progress in the series of months-long sprints. Requirements are captured as an item in a list of product backlog. Uses generative rules to create an agile environment for delivering projects. Let's talk about roles in the Scrum method. We will start from product owner. Product owner demonstrates as the solution to case stakeholders who are not present in a normal iteration demo. Announce releases, communicates team status, organizes milestone reviews, educates stakeholders in the development process, negotiates priorities, scope, funding, and schedule, ensures that the product backlog is visible. Scrum Master, helping the product owner maintain the product backlog in the way that ensures the project is well defined and the team can continually advance forward on the project at any given time. Helping the team to determine the definition of done for the product with input from case stakeholders. Coaching them within the Scrum principles in order to deliver quality valuable features for the product. Promoting self-organization within the team. Helping the Scrum team to avoid or remove impediments to their progress, whether internal or external to the team. Facilitating team events to ensure regular progress. Educating key stakeholders in the product on Scrum principles. The development team is responsible for delivering potential shippable increments of a product at the end of each sprint, the sprint goal. A team is made up of 3 or 9 individuals who do the actual work. Analyze, design, develop, test, technical communication, document, etc. Development teams are cross-functional, with all of the skills as a team necessary to create a product increment. The development team in Scrum is self-organizing, even though there may be some level of interface with project management offices. Part 4. Events. A sprint is a basic unit of the development in Scrum. The sprint is a time-boxed effort that is. It is restricted to a specific duration. The duration is fixed in advance for each sprint and is normally between 1 week and 1 month, with 2 weeks being the most common. Each sprint starts with a sprint planning event. The aim of each is to define a sprint backlog, where the work for the sprint is identified and estimated committed for the sprint goal is made. Each sprint ends with a sprint review and a sprint retrospective, where the progress is reviewed and shown to the stakeholders, and improving lessons for the next sprint are identified. Scrum emphasizes working product at the end of the sprint that is really done. In the case of the software, this would likely include that the software has been integrated, fully tested, and user documented, and is potentially shippable. Sprint planning. At the beginning of a sprint, the team holds a sprint planning event, selects that work is to be done, prepares a sprint backlog that details the time it will take to do that work with the entry team, identify and communicate how much of the work is likely to be done during that sprint. 4-hour time limit for a 2-weekend sprint. During first half, the whole team agrees that product backlog item they will consider for that sprint. During the second half, the development team establishes the work required to deliver those backlog items, resulting in the sprint backlog. Daily Scrum. Each day during a sprint, the team holds a daily Scrum with specific guidelines. All members of the development team come prepared. The daily Scrum starts precisely on time even if some development team members are missing. The daily Scrum should happen at same location at same time every day. The daily Scrum late is time-boxed for 15 minutes. Anyone is welcome, although normally only the Scrum team roles contribute. During the daily Scrum, each team members answer for 3 questions. What did I do yesterday that helped the development team meet the sprint goal? What I will do today to help the development team meet the sprint goal? Do I see, do I see any intimate? During the daily Scrum, each team member answers 3 questions. What did I do yesterday that helped the development team meet the sprint goal? What I will do today to help the development team meet the sprint goal? Do I see any impediment that prevent me to the development team from the meeting the sprint goal? Any impediment identified in the daily Scrum should be captured by the Scrum Master, displayed on the team's Scrum board, and someone agreed to be responsible for a resolution problem outside of the daily Scrum. No detailed discussions should be happen during the daily Scrum. Sprint Review. At the sprint review, the team reviews the work that was completed and the planned work that was not completed. Present the completed work to the stakeholders. Guidelines for sprint reviews. Incomplete work cannot be demonstrated. The recommended duration is 2 hours for 2-weekend sprint. Sprint retrospective. At the sprint retrospective, the team reflects on the past sprint, identifies and agrees continuous process improvement actions. Guidelines for the sprint retrospectives. 2 main questions are asked in the sprint retrospective. What went well during the sprint? What could be improved in the next sprint? The recommended duration is 1.5 hours for 2-weekend sprint. This event is facilitated by the Scrum Master. Part 4. Artifacts. Product Backlog. The product backlog comprises an ordered list of requirements that the Scrum team maintains for a product. It consists of features, bug fixes, non-functional requirements, etc. Whatever needs doing in order to successfully deliver a viable product. The product owner orders the product backlog items based on considerations such as risk, business value, dependencies, and date needed.
Typically, the product owner and the Scrum team come together and write down everything that needs to be prioritized, and this becomes content for the first sprint, which is a block of time meant for focused work on selected items that can be accommodated within the time frame. The product backlog can evolve as new information surfaces about the product and about its customers, and so later sprints may address new work.